Manning in the gun. Ball up near the 30. Manning back again. He steps up. He is hit. He throws the football down. It's picked up by the Eagles. They're going to throw a penalty flag, and that's got to be intentional grounding.
Joining us this week, I'm honored to have Eagles defensive coordinator in, Billy Davis. How you doing, Coach?
Great.
Hope you enjoyed your bye week. Let's take a look at some of your defense from the first 7 games. First off, let's take a look at these two guys, Connor Barwin and Brandon Graham, and the rush that they're able to provide through the first 7 games.
One of the things that we're doing, guys, is, and it really is impressive, as the guys are rushing as a group much better than they have. And really in a 4-man rush that we're looking to get here, we know that he's a pocket passer. We also know that Eli likes to step up. So these two guys outside, Connor and BG, are looking to set the edges and hold contain. The inside guys, Vinny and Fletch, are coming to push and take away the step up. And what we're trying to do is to collapse this pocket and to make him throw out of what we call a well. But in order to do that, everybody's got to be in their spot. BG can't come up and under and give him an escape hatch. So what we've got to do is rush 4 as 1 and try to keep him in that pocket. And as you watch this, slow it down and freeze it right here, you can see BG's collapsing his side and Connor's collapsing his. Now, they've got 5 to block our 4. So somebody's going to get the double. And Fletch ends up getting a double team here, does a nice job. But Vinny, again, instead of going outside, takes away the step up that we know Eli loves. So if he can't step up and he can't escape, now one of the 4 will get the sack or the pressure. And as you keep going here, you can see it just continues to crush. And now stop that. That pocket is now crushed. Now, one of the things that we always talk about is everyone wants sack. What their sack numbers. This guy's sack numbers aren't high enough. This right here should be Connor or BG or Vinny sack. But if you keep going, Eli intentionally grounds the ball here and gets rid of it, and nobody gets a sack, but it was an outstanding 4-man pass rush, and all 4 guys getting the credit for it. So that's a good look at 4 guys rushing together.
This guy, in my opinion, Coach, first 7 games, I would call him your co-defensive MVP along with Fletcher Cox, not to discredit any other players, but Malcolm Jenkins, I mean, his versatility allows you to basically use him in so many different manners.
Yeah, this play is a great illustration of his intelligence, his football IQ. What we know that New Orleans did on 3rd and 5 or less is they were going to run a pick play. So he actually was going to act like he's running a route but get in the way of the man coverage, and they would flare him over the top, and it'd be the pick, and they throw him the little flare, and they get their first down. Well, what New Orleans did was they started him over here, so Malcolm's thinking about how he's going to work his way over the top of this pick. You'll see they motion him over here, and now it's even worse because he's got 3 guys he's got to get through. So what we have to do in man coverage is stay on different levels with these 3, and Malcolm has to find his way through the traffic and still get his coverage. As you watch this unfold, the number one thing Malcolm does is his eyes. His eyes stay on his coverage, and then he'll look through the traffic, re-pick up his coverage, and then even at the end, this is where most guys make the mistake fundamentally, and they'll look back for the ball. And if Malcolm looked back for the ball right here, it's gone. But Malcolm doesn't. He keeps his eyes on his coverage because his eyes were right and the fundamental technique was right. Now the coverage happens.
And he uses the sideline as an extra defender.
And then again, if you go back a little bit, you'll see that Connor came through and scrambling, and that little bit that he grabs a foot here, it affects the throw. So again, the coverage is attached to the rush, and it all fits together.
So many guys on this defense that you can sort of point out. You watch your young guy, Jordan Hicks, forced in there to play a lot early in the season against the New York Jets here. But I like, once this ball is gone, the pursuit of the defense. Nobody quits on the play.
Yeah, and like you notice, we talk about it all the time. Effort is a choice. It's an individual choice. And if we have enough men choosing to run all the way to the end of the play, we will recover the fumbles. That's one of the reasons we're leading in turnovers is because effort to the ball. You can cause a turnover, but then are you there to recover it? So that's a great part of what's happening. Right here we have our 3-4. We have Jordan coming through. Now, one of the things you can't see is there is actually an open receiver over here. But because Jordan gets in the way of the follow-through in the throwing arm, he pulls it back down. And here's another example of Fletch now being where he's supposed to be and stopping the escape route. And the quarterback, again, you'll see, will get rid of this ball with his left hand. Instead of Fletch getting a sack here, he gets out. But now everybody else is choosing effort here. They're choosing to run out of the stack. And so far, the first half of the season, we've been real pleased with guys' effort to the ball and then the tackling that comes with it.
Run defense, for the most part, has been very good, top 5 all year long. Sure, had a little bit of hiccup versus Carolina, but this is the way this defense typically plays the run.
Yeah, what we have here is a short yardage situation. Now, Giants came out and they added an extra offensive tackle, and he reported eligible as a tight end. So now he's playing tight end. We are in what you call an 8-man box, so we have a safety down here. And really what happens here, and this is where the run defense separates itself, can we have all these guys being disciplined in their gap? BG's got this gap. Benny has this one. Seth has this one. Fletch has that one. We're setting the edge with Connor, and the corner, I believe it's Max, has this C gap here.
Okay.
And what happens is we now have a fullback key. So we've got to determine if this fullback wants to come here, then we go here and here with it, and Hicksy has the A gap. If the fullback chooses to come in here, now D'Amico's got to add here, and the corner would have this one. So we're on a fullback key, and everybody's got a gap responsibility. As you see this play unwind and take it just a couple steps forward. Okay, now check right here. Now you see Sed's got his, Benny's got his, Fletch is in his, but he's getting a double team here. BG will get in there, and Walt will get here. Now what happens here, and this is how everybody's attached to each other. This double team, if you go a little bit further, just focus on this here. Now, right now, Fletch is in a hard down. No. They are going to move this short yardage and probably get the distance they want. But Jordan fires at his A gap and pulls the double team off. And that's a key component in how linebackers help D linemen. A lot of times, the D linemen are up there to eat up blocks. Well, they're attached, and you watch Jordan come. Now, he's not going to make a play, but you'll see what he does for Fletch here. Now, if you keep going, now Fletch is there to make a play. He started with a tough down. BG's face is in his gap. Everybody's got their face in their gap. And again, that's a collective team defense, everybody taking care of their job, and together we play solid run defense. One guy out of his gap, all of a sudden that's not there. Jordan doesn't fire into the A gap, then the double team stays on and they probably get the first.